It is the tournament where legends are made. Golf's first major of the year, the Nabisco Dinah Shore. Coverage begins Saturday on ABC Sports.
If there's even a chance your child is sexually active, you owe it to them to watch this movie together.
I was busy. I was working. I had no time to be a mother.
Carol, it's not our fault.
I want a second chance.
It could happen to any of you.
Molly Ringwald stars in Something to Live For, the Allison Gertz story, Sunday.
What is it, Maggie?
Remember when I told you Toyota's having their spring sales event?
Yes.
People better hurry. It's almost over.
Toyota's Spring Drive sales event is still going strong, but it ends soon. Time is running out on huge factory-to-dealer incentives. There's still big option package savings left on Celica. Your Toyota dealer has what it takes to help you buy or lease the Toyota that's right for you.
Listen to Maggie. Sales event ends April 2nd.
This week's big deal at Sears is 2-liter Pepsi products, just 59 cents each. That's right, save big on 2-liter Pepsi products, just 59 cents each, now at all 10 Sears locations.
Static can put you in an awkward position.
It'll stop you.
Static can make you look stuck up.
It'll stop you.
And static can be openly embarrassing.
It'll stop you.
The more you move, the more static can build up. But you can stop static cling with Bounce. Bounce leaves clothes virtually static-free.
It won't stop you.
Bounce stops static before static stops you.
Next Sally, a deadly one-night stand.
Checks too. Don't lie to me. I know this audience. And now you're all morally superior because the House has done the same thing. And it didn't cost you any money. No public funds. And you're out here like, oh, I want to be as pure as the public today. You never bounced a check? What?
I never bounced a check.
Not in your life?
I don't have a lot of money to begin with.
Who's angry? Nobody's angry. Why are you angry? Yeah, what bothers you about this?
It bothers me that they can bounce checks with our money and not pay any penalties when I pay $30 per check.
For a bounce.
For a bounce.
Insufficient funds. 30 bucks? $30. Well, look who's here. I am pleased to welcome Congressman Rick Santorum, the Republican of Pennsylvania, who is one of the 7 freshman Republican congressmen that knew this was happening, couldn't get anybody's attention, and these 7 are in their high chairs, banging their spoons on the table, saying, we gotta do something about this, and they won. They moved this entire item to the front of the agenda, and now all America is talking about the House bank. Congressman Matthew Martinez is a Democrat from California, began service in 1982 in the House of Representatives. The Republicans, incidentally, are just, you know, this is a Democratic House operation, and it's the Democratic Party that has to take responsibility for all this mess, including Democrat Matthew Martinez, who in Newsweek is quoted as having at least a half a dozen overdrafts. 6? On the satellite from, relax, 6. I'll tell you what, if I were in the House, you think I wouldn't float a few things here and there? I mean, who's gonna? For over 100 years they've been doing this. For over 100 years. Huh?
That's right, it doesn't make it right.
What do you mean it doesn't make it right? So a lot of good people are going to get thrown over the side here.
If you do something wrong, you should pay the penalty.
Well, then what? You want the Secretary of Defense to resign because he had a handful of overdrafts when he was in the House?
Yes.
You want the Secretary of Defense to resign because of a few lousy checks?
Maybe we'll get it.
Well, what is the issue?
The issue is that there are congressmen who are elected to represent us, and now they're going up there and getting all these privileges that nobody else has as taxpayers.
congressman. I mean, don't you have some respect for the... You want him to live in a grass hut? Really, I think you're being, you know... I think you're mad about something else and you're taking it out on him for this. I do. You're mad about taxes. You're mad about... Huh? Are you there? They are there. Representative Guy Vanderjack is the Republican of Michigan. I'll tell you what. Say what you want about Congressman Vanderjack. He says what he means, and he is very upset. We shouldn't be surprised that a Republican from Michigan, long-term member of the House, who is not, I say not, listed as a check bouncer, is flailing his arms like mad against the Democratic leadership. Representative Barney Frank also joins us from Massachusetts. You are a Democrat, having started your service in the House in 1981. And thus far, I say thus far, because, boy, we're going to check up on you, too, Congressman Frank. We're going to follow this if it takes all the money in the federal treasury. But so far, you have not been listed as a check bouncer. Let me start with you, Congressman Vanderjack. Do you think the Speaker should resign?
Well, I certainly think the House ought to be put under new management. The Democrats who elected Speaker Foley have controlled the House for 38 consecutive years, and 38 years of one-party rule is not a healthy thing for any institution. Certainly wasn't healthy in Poland or Hungary or the Soviet Union, and it sure hasn't been healthy for the U.S. House of Representatives. Now, after all that growing of power, it's obvious they can't run a restaurant, they can't run a bank, they can't run a post office, and they certainly can't run the people's business.
Congressman Frank, how do you feel about my attempts to suggest that this is really, oh, come on, let's lighten up here. What's the sin? What do you think?
Well, first, let me say, Phil, you're not going to find any checks for me unless you go to my bank in Massachusetts where I do my banking. I didn't use the House bank.
And you feel sick.
And I feel sick.
Is there something going on in the back of your head as an actress, Molly, that says, I've got to she's a real person and I've got to kind of be like her?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean...
You know, there's a responsibility for her not to wake up one morning and say, I didn't recognize myself at all?
Oh, yeah.
That isn't me?
Yeah. Well, this was the first character that I've played that was based, that was a real person. So I never felt any kind of a responsibility before. I thought, you know, I can talk this way, I can wear my hair this way, and it was always in the back of my head that this is a real person, and I don't want her to watch this movie and say, oh,
yeah,
yeah, that's not me. I wouldn't say that.
That's what I did. I said, yeah. No, Molly was so totally right on that it was a shock when I saw the movie. That's me. I said, that's me.
Okay. There was nothing in the movie about religion, and I asked you quietly what has happened to you psychologically changing.
Very recently.
Very recently.
Very recently, like maybe three weeks ago or so, when it was my birthday. Some of my friends gave me some very spiritual books, and I've always been very spiritual, but I never really prayed or focused on that. And I think when people have this disease or any disease, it's very important, just for peace of mind, to think that there's a God up there and that, you know, there's somebody up there watching you. You know, you can't get rid of the pain and you can't change the fact that you're sick, but you can change your whole mental approach to dealing with the disease. And so now by praying every day, I'm much calmer. I'm much more serene than I had been in the past.
Molly, when you are somebody, when you're acting a role, do you walk around as that person, even if it's 18 days of shooting? Are you that somebody at bed at night? Are you that somebody eating your dinner?
Yes.
You're that somebody. How do you stop being the somebody when you are Molly Ringwald?
You cut your hair, you go out and buy a new outfit, you know, read a book and you get into that character, you do whatever you can. I mean, it's usually this ritual whenever I do a movie. When I finish, I usually do something drastic, which isn't always the best thing, because then I have to deal with it and say, why did I cut off all my hair? But, you know, in this case, it was really important for me to do something, because I just felt like I was Allison, and there already is an Allison, you know, and I had to be Molly, so I had to do something. I ended up cutting off my hair. I mean, I had to do something.
Did you know about her before? Is it an agent that brings you a script, or?
Usually, the agent gives you the script. In this case, I knew about her. I mean, it was hard not to. She was on, you know, People magazine and Esquire, and also I had read some of her writing about 4 years ago when she was first diagnosed. Allie wrote a book, and I read it. Somebody had given it to me, and I was really fascinated by it. And then a few years later, they said that, you know, the script is being written, or the script actually is written, and they're going to do it, and they want you to play it. So I was really excited.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting, though? Nobody wanted it. It wasn't a book, really. It was my journals. And we shopped them around. No publishers wanted them. No movie people wanted them. Nobody wanted them. And then all of a sudden, it just became more timely. And I had a terrific agent. And we just got it made, finally.
Are you happy? I think you've hinted at it, but are you happy with Molly's portrayal of you?
Oh, God. Molly is fantastic.
Good.
She's fantastic.
Would you want to say anything to Allison?
Do I want to say anything? Oh, we're going to go out to lunch later. We'll get a talk.
What would you tell her so that we can listen also?
I think the most important thing is that she, like Carol said, that she keeps her spirits up.
Okay.
You know, I mean, it's pretty hard. It was hard even just to play the hospital and the sickness and everything, just to play it,
be there,
and not have to live it. You know, I think the most important thing is that she just keeps on living. You know, I mean, when I was watching the screen back there, it said Allison dying of AIDS, and that's not what it is at all. She's living with AIDS. And she should keep that, I think, in her mind at all times.
Very well said.
Oh, you really told them how wonderful I was.
And I'll ask them to take that off, because I agree. When we come back, we will meet 2 of Allison's best friends. Now, what happens in your relationships with your friends, huh? Stay with us.
These slip down one more time. I'm fed up with glasses that don't fit.
You don't have to put up with glasses that don't fit anymore. Because at LensCrafters, we have so many new ways to make glasses more comfortable.
LensCrafters glasses fit your snug points with features like new snug fit hinges that hug your head and won't lose their gentle hold. LensCrafters, for that cushion of comfort you've always wanted.
I never knew glasses could be this comfortable.
LensCrafters, better fit for greater comfort in about an hour.
Remember when cats sang for Meow Mix?
Meow, meow,
Well, today's Meow Mix tastes even better. With flavors cats prefer over the old Meow Mix 3-to-1. And cats are doing more than singing for it. Meow Mix. Tastes so good, cats ask for it by name.
Meow.
To say the least.
Rent the smart way with Renter's Choice, your home furnishing outlets. Name brand TVs, stereos, and VCRs as low as $9.95. Whirlpool washers and dryers just $17.95. Who says you can't have your choice? Quality living room or bedroom groups $14.95. 5-piece dinettes $9.95. Call now. Renter's Choice makes it easy to enjoy the best in your home today. No credit needed. Just pick up the phone and rent to own the smart way with Renter's Choice, your home furnishing outlets. Call now and we'll be there today.
It's Monsanto month at Tim Hogan's Dalton, Georgia Carpets. All the new and exciting spring lines of wear-dated and traffic control carpets are on sale now. See a full line of wear-dated carpet styles and colors, popular textures, colorful sculptures, stylish plushes, all marked down with 3-room fully installed packages starting at just $499. So come into Tim Hogan's today and get your home in style for spring.
Tim Hogan's the way. Tim Hogan's the way to buy carpet.
case you are going around the dial and you just joined us, we're in the middle of inspirational, overused word, okay? We've met Allison Gertz and her parents, Carol and Jerry, and I think that people are doing well with where their head is at this time. This is their daughter, who has AIDS. Allison's story is made into a TV movie called Something to Live For, and actress Molly Ringwald was kind enough to give us her time and come and be here today. She portrays Allison. I want you to meet two important people in Allison's life. If you were here, you remember her saying that my friends and my family are the most important thing, and that's very true. Here are two of her best friends, Deanie. Deanie?
Hi.
Hi. And Victoria. There are people probably, I'm led to believe, Allison, who find that they cannot handle a relationship with you.
Sure. I mean, I definitely have to say that I've lost a few friends because...
they're afraid of putting themselves through the pain of grief, is that?
Yes.
Yet these two are important. How has the friendship been affected by what's gone on for the two of you?
Well, I think that one of the things that is different about Allie now is that she obviously can't do the kinds of things that we used to do together. I mean, we can't call up Allie and say, let's go dancing, you know, or let's go see a movie. And so things are a little bit more on Allie's terms. But if you're a friend, you're a friend. I mean, that shouldn't affect your friendship with her. You feel very guilty about the good things that happen to you in your life. And that's a very difficult...
Like if you are dating and she is not,
right.
Do you...
Sure. I had boyfriends over the course of our friendship, and I didn't tell her about all of them because it wasn't, I knew it wasn't, if they weren't going to stay around, they weren't going to be a part of Allie's life. But I just moved in with someone, and so when I decided to move in with this person, I brought him over to Allie's house and made him be part of Allie's life. And I was scared that she was going to think that I was leaving her because I was moving in with someone.
Oh, I would understand that completely.
But instead, she opened her arms to him, and that was wonderful. That was
and he did to her too.
Yeah. How has she changed?
Allie was always a very good friend. I've known her since Studio 54 for about 11 years now. And but when this happened, and it felt like, what could we do? She was still able to give. She's given so much to me in the last 3 years.
What?
So much love and support and care, and she's so sensitive to how I feel going through this with her, because I went on the college and high school lectures with her, and if anything, I was so grateful to be able to not just give back friendship, but to be able to be of some kind of help and take care of her, because Allie's, even though she's younger than me, was always sort of like a more mature spirit. And when I would flounder with relationships and things, even now, she's always been very strong for me and guided me. And to finally be able to give back to her, even if it's physically taking care of her.
You get a lot. You're giving, but you get a lot. Mother said that there are hundreds of letters, and most of them say what? They pray?
When we first went public, we got mail and phone calls from all over the world, really. I mean, it's amazing how far even the New York Times article went. But people write to me all the time and say, we pray for your daughter. I mean, from every kind of religion. We even had a letter from some old man in Sri Lanka. He prays for Allie every day. So, I mean, prayers are wonderful, and whatever people's religion is, prayers can only help, I feel. And
I was saying to Allison
grateful.
that we have a lot of different religions. At the time of death, it all seems that all the different religions come together as one God.
Yeah.
Right.
Can I take a break? And I promise I'll let you talk to people who are ill. You said you wanted to. We'll be right back.
At Drug Mart, Mart, we don't advertise outrageous bargains like the big-name chains and then end up charging you more on other items. At Drug Mart, we don't sell the loss leader items. It's the thousands of other items Drug Mart carries where the savings add up to more. From school supplies to beauty and healthcare items, food and snack items, prescriptions and one-hour photo processing. Drug Mart saves you money day in and day out. Avoid the big change, price wars, and giveaways where you end up paying too much for everything else. Shop Drug Mart's 3 convenient locations where you can count on savings.
Many food companies are following faster, more efficient methods of processing food. But at Brownberry, we've always found things just naturally taste better when you follow a good recipe. Hearty, home-style Brownberry natural wheat. Still baked from Catherine Clark's original recipe.
Hi, I'm Dave Winkleman, and if you're a walleye fisherman, I promise you won't want to miss this week's Good Fishing Show. We're going to take an in-depth look at 2 of the deadliest walleye tactics around, rigs and spinners. We'll show you when and why they work best, and then next, we'll delve into the lifestyle of one of my favorite fish, the scrappy acrobatic smallmouth bass. That's all coming up this week on Good Fishing. Join us, won't you?
Saturday at 2:30.
I'm Donna Jordan.
Hello, Miami Valley. I'm Charles Gibson, and we hope you'll join us for 2 News Prime Time.
We'll be celebrating Charlie's 5th anniversary on Good Morning America, and I'll take you behind the scenes of the Miami Valley's and America's #1 morning show.
And I'll tell you what it's really like to work with What's-Her-Name London and What's-His-Name Christian and the entire Good Morning America family.
So don't miss the next 2 News Prime Time with Charlie Gibson.
And Donna Jordan right here on WDTN Channel 2.
Tonight at 9:30.
Okay, questions. Sir.
Yes, I'd like to know, in the movie, there's a part where the guy in the wheelchair gave you a book. I'd just like to know what's the name of the book and where can I get the book?
Okay, the book is called Love, Medicine, and Miracles, and it's by Dr. Bernie Siegel.
It's a really good one, too.
You can get it in any major bookstore.
Mother has an organization now, yes?
Yes, it was formed by very close friends of mine. It's a foundation called Concerned Parents for AIDS Research. And the times that I'm not really with Allie or taking care of her when she's not well, we really are working to raise money for research. And it's very important. We're trying to lick this disease, and the only way we can do it is if all of you, everyone across the country, reaches into their pocket for whatever they can give.
We put the number up, yes.
It's important.
I would like to know what happened to your boyfriend, and did he ever get AIDS?
No, he did not get AIDS, and he's still a part of my life. He comes over and cooks dinner for me and, you know, works with me a little outrageously, but...
Let me ask a question. We had asked John McElhaney, who is the coordinator of volunteers for the People with AIDS Coalition, to join us. What about a love life for someone with AIDS? Is it responsible for someone who is diagnosed as having AIDS, not HIV, guys, AIDS, to have no sex at all? Is that more responsible, or can one have a love life and make that work and not infect the other person?
Well, I think that, first of all, I want to say that, Allison, I think you're a real hero, and I think that it's important for people with AIDS and HIV to get out there and to put a face on this disease and to educate the public.
Which is what she's done.
Exactly. And I think you're really doing wonderful work.
I'll let you answer the question as soon as we come back.
It's cooking up for dinner tonight.
Tonight, in just 10 minutes, you can enjoy the whole grain, nutty taste of Minute Instant Brown Rice. It's a healthy, all-natural brand source and makes a hearty meal worth coming home to.
Just look what minute is cooking up for dinner tonight.
Presenting the 8-calorie cookie, the 8-calorie ice cream scoop, or an entire dessert that's 8 calories. Sugar-free Jell-O gelatin with 100% NutraSweet. There's always room for sugar-free Jell-O.
Some things you just can't be sure of, like blind dates. But when I want to feel naturally fresh, I trust Massengill Vinegar and Water Douche with natural ingredients. I love that fresh, clean feeling.
Trust Massengill.
You know, some people think a $4 million Super Lotto jackpot is small potatoes. The winners, though, see it a little differently. Sure.
For furniture, the largest selection of name brand appliances in the area. Electronics and bedding. Why bother with all the others when it costs less at Roberts?
Why is the doughboy tooting his own horn? It's the arrival of Pillsbury Bake Tops, a jazzy new way to top your cake before it bakes. First, the crumbly chocolate streusel bakes in. Then, the dangerously delicious glaze drizzles on, which means you can serve it while it's still hot.
Cool.
New Pillsbury Bake Tops.
They'll blow you away.
Amazing Blue Star ointment stops itching fast. Jock itch, ringworm, psoriasis, athlete's foot, and removes corns and calluses. Blue Star ointment, the one that's guaranteed. Ask for it.
The love life issue.
I think people with AIDS and HIV have the right to have love in their lives. I have a boyfriend who has AIDS, and the main thing is to be safe. And
sex in their lives, too?
Yes, exactly. It's about, like Molly said, it's living with AIDS. Very little of one's life when one has AIDS, people spend a good deal of their time being healthy, and sometimes very little time is spent in the hospital. We need to focus on the fact that there are people out there surviving and thriving with AIDS who've been living with AIDS for a long time, and now we just got to make the government spend some more money on this disease.
Absolutely.
Allison, a final word from you to people?
Yeah. This word is to the people who are sick with this disease, and to the people who love them. The worst part about this disease, not for me, because I'm so fortunate to have my family around me, is to be alone with it. You know, I mean, I am calling out to all these parents who, I don't care if they have problems with their child being homosexual. That is not an important issue. The important issue is that they love their child, no matter what that child does. And they need, the child will die without the support and love of their family.
I know about pain. And knowing that aloe vera-based Flexol is the pain-relieving gel recommended by the trainers in all major pro sports tells me it's the best. If you're living with pain, you need to know about Flexol, the pain relief pro trainers recommend.
You don't need the discomfort of your period, but Tylenol, Advil, or Midol 200 only leave pain behind. You still may have tension and water gain, so do it right. Take Pamprin. It relieves pain, tension, and water weight gain. Pamprin, period relief, not just pain relief.
March is Baby Month at Baby World and Teens. To celebrate, we have Childcraft's famous Honey Oak crib and bed for only $419.99. Also sale priced are matching chests or dressers for only $169. Or purchase this sturdy, handsome crib for $139. You'll receive up to 50% off all crib bedding. Remember, Baby World and Teens has America's largest selection of children's furniture for less. Baby World and Teens in Dayton across from the Dayton Mall, in Cincinnati at Evendale exit off I-75.
Hendrik Meyer was always striving to make his produce department the very best, like always carrying the plumpest plums, the sweetest strawberries, and lettuce that was a cut above. Now, in that same tradition, Meyer sells what is quite possibly the world's perfect food, Chiquita bananas. After all, when you can get quality like this, who'd settle for anything less? Certainly not Hendrik Meyer. Chiquita bananas, every day at Meijer, the store built on common sense.
Maybe you're one of the many people who have switched to Revco since we lowered our prescription prices. If you are, you know that now there's even a better reason to take your prescriptions to Revco, the patient advisory leaflet. It's got everything you need to know about your medication, like what to do if you miss a dose, which foods are okay to eat and which ones aren't, and what side effects you might have. All that important information that you may not find on a label. Maybe saving money isn't enough to make you switch to Revco, but something that could save your life definitely is.
If you'd like to order a video cassette of Sally's show for only $19.95, call 1-800-FOR-SALLY. 1-800-FOR-SALLY for video cassettes only. For a transcript, send $3 to 1535 Grant Street, Denver, Colorado, 80203, or call 303-831-9000.
Don't forget to watch Something to Live For, the Allison Gertz story. It's going to be on this Sunday night. That's March 29th on ABC. Thank the family, thank the friends, thank Molly, and thank you for joining us.
Some members of our audience will receive, and a promotional fee has been provided by
Jose Hebert Hair Products. Beauty. Recognized.
Crisp, clean, very masculine. Wear it and be victorious. Adidas, aftershave and cologne. The essence of sports.
The Boss, the low-cost ESP from Eureka. It can cut your cleaning time in half. The Boss from Eureka, the power to sweep you off your feet.
No-nonsense pantyhose, as beautifully put together as the women who wear them. No nonsense.
Chris is here, Jack. It's my first double. Yeah. You know, we're getting better at catching Jack in our old age.
It's good. When we had double on the clothes would have been great.
That would have been fun. Yeah, no wardrobe, family milk.
She is fun too.
Oh, this is great. This is really great.
Backing up. Backing up. Backing up.
Jack, I would... Come back.
On the inside, it's a whole different story. Inside Edition with host Bill O'Reilly gives you a fresh perspective on current issues, straight from the inside. Inside Edition, number 1 at 5 on Channel 2, WDTN.
At Morris Furniture, for a limited time only, get free furniture gifts with many furniture purchases. Free roll-top desks, free wing chairs, free vanity and chair values to $399. Even free extended warranties on your appliance or electronic buy. Every name brand quality gallery has hundreds of ideas and savings now. For instance, famous Plosner sofas start at only $698. Or choose universal dining rooms, Serta mattresses, and more big savings plus free gifts at Morris.
Get more at Morris.
Many food companies are following faster, more efficient methods of processing food. But at Brownberry, we've always found things just naturally taste better when you follow a good recipe. Hearty, home-style Brownberry natural wheat. Still baked from Catherine Clark's original recipe.
The Super Cities Walk for MS.
Call 461-5232.